Hi everybody, welcome to your weekly horoscope, and this one is for the week starting Monday the 3rd of April and going through until Sunday the 9th of April. It's really nice to be with you. My horoscopes are based on London time, and this week looks kind of tempestuous. There are different energies floating around. And you're going to have to keep on your toes a little bit. Now, Monday the 3rd of April starts really well. It's the first quarter moon. And then the moon in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. So first quarter moon is basically a stopping point for the moon from its position of being a new moon where it was totally black and moving towards becoming a full moon where it's totally illuminated. First quarter is where it's halfway on its journey to becoming a full moon. Okay, so there's a sense of anticipation, there's a sense of energy building up, and that moon in Cancer and Neptune energy really gives you a sense of drive and energy coupled with the ability to dream of what your future could be like. So there's a sense of hope, there's a sense of enthusiasm, there's a sense of if I can dream it, I can make it happen. You know, it's been a challenging energy recently with Venus being in retrograde. Venus comes out of retrograde on the 15th of April, but it's really created a lack of love in some people for themselves, in other people a lack of love for what they're doing in their lives, and just a feeling of apathy and I can't be bothered. Some people have experienced a lack of love for other people in their lives, and it's not positive in that sense. So Monday the 3rd here with this first quarter moon and the Neptune energy is really positive. It gives you this sense of, yes, things can work, things can be beautiful and positive, and they can be magical and dreamlike, and the future can be amazing. Because it can, and we need to hang on to that to manifest it in our lives. Now, Tuesday the 4th of April, the moon goes into Leo at 14 minutes past 10 in the evening, and then this moon squares Mercury in Taurus. So again, you've got great energy on this day. There's this ongoing sense of drive, and it's a really wonderful day to spend with friends and loved ones and to simply have fun. Okay. Now on Wednesday, the 5th of April, we have a big event here. We have Saturn, which is an outer planet, that goes retrograde, and it stays in retrograde until the 25th of August. Okay. So Saturn is like the astrological head teacher. He forces you to look at your life and to say, this is where I'm at, and this is really my potential, this is what I could be doing, this is where I could be at. And it's super harsh during a Saturn return. That happens 3 times in life. It happens at the age of 28 and 29 and a half, then 56 and 58, and again 84 to 86. Okay, so most of us have 2 of these. And it forces you to really say, you're working as an engineer, but you have this great musical talent. Why are you not doing anything with it? And it will force you to do something with the talent you've been giving. So when Saturn goes retrograde, now here on the 5th of April until the 25th of August, it's much gentler. It's far less harsh than usual. Okay? And it's a good time to review decisions that you've made already. And it's a good time to review the structures that are in your life that have appeared based on those decisions. You know, for instance, I'm sitting here talking to you because a few years ago, I decided that I was going to do my astrology full time. Hence, I'm sitting here talking to you. So ask yourself, what am I going to do over the next year? Or where do I see myself in a year from now? Or where do I see myself in 5 years from now? Because Saturn, in its very gentle and uncharacteristic way, is going to help pave the way for you to actually get there. But it's a process. It doesn't just happen overnight. Okay? So on Wednesday as well, Mars is in Taurus and it trines Pluto in Capricorn. So there is the potential here to clash in a competitive work environment or with an authority figure in your life. Because you've got a lot going on at the moment, the energy is really high. If someone just kind of catches you the wrong way or says something that is really disagreeable, there's the potential for you to blow up and to really have a clash. So watch out for that on Wednesday the 5th. Now, moving on, Thursday the 6th of April, we've got the Leo moon sextiling Jupiter in Libra, and it squares Mars in Taurus and trines Uranus in Aries. So again, we've got great energy. We've got great energy all week here. But now there's a lack of clarity. So when the Saturn return I've spoken about, it lasts now until August, okay? And what it's urging you to do is to review the things that you have done and that you have clarity on because it's already happened. And to think about what decisions you're going to make in future and what you want the future to look like. It's not going to immediately appear, so don't get frustrated if there is a lack of clarity. Just keep working towards getting to the ultimate goal or figuring out what the ultimate goal is and make that your target, make that your priority. Where do I want to be in 5 years? Keep it as simple as that. Okay, so Thursday the 6th, you have this great energy. There is a lack of clarity when it comes to future planning, but also there's a lack of clarity when it comes to seeing the role that you play in certain situations and to point the finger at other people. That's going to be much easier to do on Thursday than it is to point the finger at the self. Friday, the 7th of April, the moon goes into Virgo at 21 minutes past 4 in the morning. So make sure you stay up for that. Then Mercury in Taurus trines the moon in Virgo as well on this day. So this is it's an excellent day for formal communications. This is one day before Mercury goes into retrograde. Mercury is the communication planet. When it goes into retrograde, it makes communications more difficult. Okay, so Friday, Mercury is still direct. The moon is in Virgo, good at taking information, breaking it down, making sense of it, creating meaning out of it. It's really an ideal day to have a formal interview, to draft, to draw up the contracts, to sign the house purchase agreement, all of those things. Really, really good day for anything formal like that. Now, Mercury goes retrograde on Sunday, not on Saturday. It goes retrograde on Sunday. Now, on Saturday, the 8th of April, the Virgo moon opposes Neptune in Pisces. Venus is in Pisces and it squares Saturn in Sagittarius, and the Sun in Aries squares Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a day best spent kind of enjoying yourself and connecting with other people. The natural urge is going to be there again to kind of review everything and figure things out and to make plans for the future. This week, what's missing and what's lacking is the needed clarity. Okay, so start doing that next week and the weeks after that. But this week, really, I wouldn't try and sit down by yourself and write out every detail of how you're going to plan your future, because the clarity just isn't there. And it's important to just keep things simple and to keep the goal in mind and to kind of let the details take care of themselves a little bit more. It's not useful to plan every detail because, like I said, the clarity is not there, and there are certain events that may happen which will then make your preparation irrelevant. So don't spend a lot of time preparing for the future here today or making plans for it. Enjoy yourself instead. Finally, Sunday the 9th of April, we've got the moon going into Libra at 35 minutes past 12 in the afternoon, and Mercury does go retrograde on this day until the 3rd of May. Okay, so relationships become more balanced and even-keeled. Communication, unfortunately, becomes more difficult as a result of this retrograde, but it's important to find alternative ways of getting your point across. So basically, Mercury retrograde, Mercury, the communication planet, when it does go retrograde, it makes communications more difficult. So this is when computers go down and packages and post gets lost and emails don't arrive, and there are misunderstandings between friends, and all of those traditional things Mercury in retrograde is associated with. Those apply to a certain extent, okay? But the good news about a Mercury retrograde is that you have to find different ways of operating because there are certain blocks. So often people get more direct and more simple ways of getting their point across. And because relationships are getting better now on this day and moving forward with Venus coming out of retrograde on the 15th of April, you're going to look for simple, clear ways of communicating with people you know very well and to kind of create your own language, but to really just understand each other by putting it into as few words as possible, and seeing how that actually brings you closer together instead of making things more complicated. Because like when you have a friend or someone you've known for a while, you just look at each other and you know what's going on, especially in a social situations. And those moments are great because communication is there, but it's not required in a technical formal sense. Do you see what I mean? Because Mercury retrograde complicates that formal type of communication. Computers, handwriting, letters, all of those things. If it's that kind of telepathy, then that's not affected by it. That is something that you can really work on during Mercury retrograde to get a clearer and more a closer connection to other people. And it's really fun to do that, actually. So that's what I get for you this week. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. If you would like a private reading with me where I look at your birth chart, so I can draw that up by taking your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. I can then draw up your birth chart and analyze that. I can also put these transits around your birth chart and see how these affect you specifically. If you'd like me to do that, then please visit my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, and I'll speak to you next week.